Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to The Main Phase, a Magic the Gathering podcast aimed to bring you the best content, period. My name is Debo, and this week we talk about our Week 1 decks, the Eldraine Streamer event, Eldraine Deluxe, and more. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, you were listening to The Main Phase, the only Magic the Gathering podcast who is not ready for rotation.
Lies! Lies and slander!
Debo is ready for rotation. I am Jeremy, and I am joined today by a guy who streams in the background.
Hey guys, it's Debo. How you doing?
Hey Deebs, how's it going, man? You doing all right?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
So I recently had to go to the doctor because...
Oh no, what happened?
Well, I just had constant coughing. If probably if you guys were on the stream, you probably have noticed.
Constant coughing?
Yes.
You have been coughing a lot. I thought maybe it was just allergies or something.
No, it turns out I had a minor sinus infection.
Oh, okay.
Was causing just...
Producing drainage.
Yeah, major drainage and just caused me to
into
cough.
The bronchial canals and causing you to cough.
Of course. So I got these giant horse pills I'm supposed to take.
Horse pills.
Yes, they're like the size of an inch and a half long, like 3 inches wide. I mean, they're just... man, I'm surprised they're not suppositories, you know?
Whoa. Cough suppositories. What would you say to your doctor if they were like, all right, listen, you're going to have to take these rectally?
I'd be like, new doctor.
You know what? I appreciate your time today, Doc. All right. So lots of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
We're coming up on Tuesday. Well, by the time that people hear this podcast,
Tuesday have already happened.
Tuesday, the big streaming event will have already happened. So we were in a Discord over the course. We're in the Discord currently, right? We're recording this weekend before you guys actually hear it. So obviously you'll get our live feedback of that event as we're doing it. But in that Discord, there's probably about 180 streamers.
Yep.
There is going to be a lot of people who are streaming the event at this time. And it's going to be very difficult for us to rise to the top of that. I don't know how many people are actually going to rotate around, but we will see. We will have seen that already on Tuesday and how that have gone. But we will be playing all day.
We will be playing all day, all night.
Yep.
I'll probably be cutting off the stream at 2 a.m. the next morning.
Okay.
So it'll be a long stream.
Yes,
so
it will.
So if you guys enjoy that type of stuff, feel free to jump in.
I will be on and down at my command station by probably about 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And keep in mind, this is an international event. So they're going to actually have people who are live and active across the globe. There's Italians, Russians, Chinese players, Japanese players, kids from Australia. There's people from all over the globe who have been engaged for this event, and you will have had an opportunity to see all of that and interact with all those streamers. What I would encourage you to do, if you haven't already, is stop by the stream, give us a follow, help us kick off our giveaway schematics, okay? This is very critically important. And we may have already accomplished that by the time that you guys hear this podcast. I know I keep speaking in the past, but this is an event that will have already happened by the time you listen to this. So I'm going to throw a little optimism towards it, and then we'll move on to the news and talk about what we're doing with our brews. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, so optimism released. Let's hope it goes well. All-day stream at Lansay Go will have concluded by then, and we will have all shared in a number of different decks, etc. So the brews, Debo, what are you looking at playing first when you sit down?
Oh man, so the first thing I'm going to be looking at playing for the event is going to be probably Jeskai, that Jeskai Prison Mill deck that we were talking about last week.
Absolutely.
That looks like a lot of fun to me.
I think that it's going to be great.
Thank you.
It's probably going to catch people off guard, too.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're going to expect to come across a player who's trying to sink you into a lock, you know? And it is a lock.
Yeah.
It's a firm lock.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a soft lock. They can still cast one spell per turn rotation.
They better hope it's the one spell they need,
yeah.
right? And that by the time they get there, that you don't already have a replacement for the permanent they're trying to remove in your hand, which is more than likely the case, that you're going to be holding another copy of that card. They think they get out. They don't really get out, you know.
Yep. So that's definitely probably the first deck I want to try out. I'm also looking at just straight mono blue or maybe blue black mill, because there's some good pieces for that. I'm also looking at going away from mill, looking at like blue tempo.
Yeah.
And I haven't decided if that's just going to be strict mono blue tempo or if that's going to be like blue X tempo. I haven't quite decided yet.
Okay.
And then we're also...
I think that looks really strong too with Gadwick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that deck is kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
It's a little terrifying, right?
Yeah,
like
it really is.
It feels as if it's got the power potential to crush any deck that you're facing down, mostly because blue tempo don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't care what you're playing, what you're doing. That's one of those decks that just executes its game plan, and permanents are permanents.
Right.
You know, but so hopefully they've got some good sideboard options to be able to deal with that.
Yep. I mean, there's still Veil of Summer, which is a pretty good hoser.
It's a good card.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's only so many copies of that.
Right.
It's not like we got an Isochron Scepter where we can just cast Veil of Summer or lock an Isochron Scepter in with Veil of Summer, which would be awesome.
Yeah.
Boy, that'd be awesome. Anyway.
But we do have a mission briefing. So another deck I've been looking at building is kind of like a new version of Blue-Green Flash as well. So we got some pretty good pieces for that as well.
Okay.
Like Brazen Borrower is actually a really good piece for that list.
You know, people are kind of poo-pooing that card a little bit,
Mhm.
but I think it's really good. Like, let me comment on Saffron Olive's initial comment on that. And I
Sure.
think that a lot of people lean on Seth for his advice. He plays a lot of really wacky decks,
Mhm.
right? This Twitch Rivals thing where he's playing the Sultai Bone for Blood.
Blood for Bones.
Blood for Bones, yeah. But that was a clever deck, being able to recur the Agent of Treachery. Very, very smart stuff. And you're starting to see that idea bleed into other things and even other color schema as well. Like I've seen
Right.
some Mardu lists that are trying to do just that as well. So it's pretty cool. But his initial comment on Brazen Borrower was, Throne of Eldraine, the set where Disperse is now mythic.
Yeah.
Right. But it's cool.
It's basically two commons stapled together.
It is.
Right.
And they make it mythic.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't think it should have been mythic. I think it should have been a rare. I think Gadwick probably should have been the mythic.
Yeah,
personally.
Gadwick is...
I think he's a much better Magic card. But the fact that you have a Disperse that then basically draws you a 3/1 flyer with Flash, like it can only block things with flying, but I mean it's a 3/1 flyer with Flash. Is basically that's just going to tease your control opponents like crazy because like, oh god, when is this 3/1 going to come down and start beating me up, right?
Can I leave myself exposed?
Right. And you have to, people, you have to give the play design team a little bit of hope here because they've been playing this for like crazy. Like, I mean, because that's their job, right? They have to play these sets to make sure.
You mean
that
have a little faith in them?
Oh, whatever. Faith.
I've got faith in them.
Like there's a reason it's mythic.
Are hope and faith really that different?
Not really.
Not really.
All right. So, it's one of those things where they've been playing this for a long time. And they've been tuning it right. So if they've recommended that it should be a mythic, then it should be a mythic.
Okay.
Maybe it's mythic for draft.
Maybe it's mythic for sets we haven't seen.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people are drawing these immediate comparisons to the current meta, like the post-rotation meta. But there's a lot of cards coming where that card's still going to be around.
Right.
And there's a good chance that it'll prove its mythic value in the long run here.
Another thing I'm also thinking about brewing for this this event is either a blue-red or a Grixis second card drawn each turn deck.
Nice, yeah. I like that. That's an interesting trope that they've built into a number of different cards in Grixis. So.
I mean, that Ironcrag Pyromancer, the 2 in a red 0/4.
Bolt stuff?
Yeah, bolt stuff whenever you draw a second card.
Yeah, really sick.
Oh, sure.
You know what would make it really kick ass, though?
What's that?
Is if it bolted things every time you drew a card after your first. But I understand why it doesn't do that.
You know what this deck really reminds me of, though?
What's that?
It reminds me of Niv Mizzet, which, by the way, is still Niv Mizzet Perun is still in standard.
And you forget until you come up across it how good that card is. It's good.
It can't be countered.
It can't be countered. Yeah.
I mean, it's so good. And the whole point about this deck is you're trying to draw cards. So on your opponent's turn, whenever they go to play an instant or sorcery or something like that, you're drawing cards, and then you're playing ops and things like that. So not only are you dealing damage with Niv Mizzet,
oh, you nailed it.
You're also bolting things. And
you nailed
so
it.
much, so
Jumpstart cards are still in there.
Yep.
You got Radical Idea. You got Chemister's Insight still, right? And you're playing basically the old Niv Mizzet deck with a whole bunch of ammo.
Yep.
Nasty stuff. Rawl fits into that. Ugin fits into that. There's no reason that you can't play Karn. There's no reason at all you can't play Karn and actually bring in some value.
Well, because the whole point is you're trying to play non-creature spells and also draw cards.
Right.
So you've got things like that 2-mana with a Guild Globe.
Yeah, Guild Globe.
Draws you a card.
It's perfect.
I mean, it works so well with it all.
Yeah.
So.
You know what? That's probably a deck that's going to really hold some water as we move into rotation. Plus, Arclight Phoenix is still around.
Yep.
We still got the ability to do that. There's some good cantrips still out there. Just the fact that we have Opt and there's a new Tormenting Voice card. Can't remember what the name of it is, but
it's so good.
It's strictly better.
Oh, it's so good. It's one of my favorite commons that got printed for sure.
You were kind of cheesing out over a deck from Magic Aids that you thought was going to be really, really good. That Sultai list.
Magic Aids came up with a list, Sultai tokens with Oko, Gilded Goose, and coming up with Dreadhorde Invasion
and Vraska.
So basically, the whole idea is you go Gilded Goose turn 1, turn 3 Oko, turn 2 Oko, turn the Goose into a 3/3.
Yeah.
Or if that doesn't work out,
Turn the food into a 3/3.
No, because you need the food to get Oko down on turn 2.
That's right.
If that doesn't work out, you can do Dreadhorde Invasion. And so then Dreadhorde Invasion comes down. You get a 0/0 with a +1/+1 counter. You turn the 0/0 into a 3/3, but now it's a 4/4.
Sick.
And then every single turn, you get a new 1/1 that you can then keep making 4/4s every single turn with Oko.
That's brutal.
Yeah. And then you have Vraska to be able to handle your opponent's stuff. You've got the new Hero's Downfall creature that fits really well in this list.
Murderous Rider.
Yep. You've still got
Assassin's Trophy.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good pieces, and
that's a powerful deck.
Yeah, it looks really, really good.
There might even be cause just for some flavor to put the Questing Beast in there.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Listen, if you're playing green and you're not playing Questing Beast, you're not doing it right. So I got to tell you, honestly, that's the deck that I'm most excited about, and I will lead off, and this will have already occurred. I love that we are ahead of... We're talking to you now about something that's already happened. So it's interesting that we get to go back and see that. But I think Mono Green, Throne of Eldraine Green, will be something that carries forward as a really good deck. Again, there's some Sultai stuff, building in elementals. You know, of course, the Yarrick Risen Reef package is something that's not really going to go away.
Right.
The elemental package isn't going to go away. That's really kind of like the Rogue Refiner from Kaladesh style engine in terms of drawing cards and producing additional tokens that we can leverage for other things.
One other thing I do want to point out real quick. So we still have that 3/2 that enters the battlefield, gets +X/+O, and then can fight a creature with flying.
Yeah, Crawl Harpooner.
Yes, and we just now got an instant speed deal damage to any target for sacrificing a creature.
Yeah.
In Fling.
Yes,
so
Fling.
we can now play a Crawl Harpooner, still get the +X/+O.
Definitely.
And fling it at our opponent's face and deal like 15 damage to them.
And still got all of those crazy undergrowth mechanics that are still available to us after rotation. So Fling is a thing for sure.
And also you could try to cheese out a combo with it by also playing like Rhythm of the Wild to give it haste.
Yep.
So now all of a sudden you're swinging in with a 9/2 or whatever with trample.
Sure.
And then
you can give your creatures trample. That's easy.
And then if it doesn't get blocked either, so you swing in with a 9/2, you can then fling it. In the same turn, and be able to deal 18 damage, maybe even more than that if you have more creatures in your graveyard.
I mean, even recently, this isn't like it was really more in blue and green. It was in Simic. But if you'll remember, when energy was running rampant, we had Electrostatic Pummeler, where they would just create all of this energy, pump the Electrostatic Pummeler, give it +X/+X, where it was its current power, whatever, blah, 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 swing in for trample, and then fling it to you for the kill. And they were also using Hadana's Climb in that to be able to really cause some havoc with Hadana's Climb, which we're losing, and I'm sad to see go. And I don't know if I really played that enough to really enjoy it.
It was a good card. It really was.
It was, yeah.
The other deck that I'm looking at building for this event is going to be a new Cavalcade.
Oh, right on.
So doing a lot of 1/1 hasters and playing Cavalcade. You've got the Chandra's Elemental, whatever it is, the flyer.
Yeah, she makes tokens for the Cavalcade.
I mean, you got the Planeswalker Chandra, right. And then also her Elemental flyer with the 1/3. The
familiar.
Yeah, the familiar.
Chandra's familiar.
And then you also have the new Torbrand Thane of Redfell.
He's ridiculous.
Yeah, 4 mana, 2/4, but really he's a 4/4 if you listen to his ability. Red sources you control deal damage whenever they deal damage to an opponent or permanent and opponent controls. It deals that much damage +2.
Yeah.
So it's
ridiculous.
It's basically Flame of the Keld.
Scorch Spitter goes to combat.
6 damage.
Deals 6 damage with an active Cavalcade. And then if the damage actually hits, it deals 9 damage on a Scorch Spitter. The combat damage, the ability from the Scorch Spitter, and the Cavalcade. 9 damage.
Yep.
Horrible.
It's so good.
Gingerbrute doesn't really fit very well in there unless you're just trying to trigger the Cavalcades.
Yeah, I think it's just for the Cavalcade.
Yeah,
because even though Gingerbrute doesn't get the buff, Cavalcade does, and the Gingerbrute still can become unblockable. Right. So you're still able to swing in with it.
Correct.
Every single time, and you can still trigger a bolt on your Cavalcade.
That's right.
So
and Fervent Knight's real good there at haste.
Yep.
We are losing Fanatical Firebrand.
But the Fervent Knight has first strike as well.
It does. It does have first strike. Not to mention, there's probably cause for consideration in terms of the Cavalcade deck and running the Embercleave.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, maybe as like a final hit or something like that, right?
The big whammy.
I mean, because it does give your creatures +1/+1, but you can do it after Cavalcade triggers.
Yeah.
You flash it out, and then it gives something +1/+1, trample, and double strike.
You know what? And there's some mid-range functionality that you could build into that deck in mono red as well. Risk Factor becomes a strictly better card. It becomes a much better card after rotation. There's less answers for it, right?
Yeah, I think risk factor. So in my version of Cavalcade, I was running 4 Flame of Kelds.
Okay.
And
perfect.
I think putting risk factor in for those 4 Flame of Kelds is going to be perfect in this list.
I don't think that you have another option.
Yeah.
Because you've got to be able to draw the cards.
Right.
Right. You've got to be able to Light Up the Stage is still with us.
Yep.
And a very good card.
Yep.
Because they're going to be taking damage just off of the attack trigger from the Cavalcade. And Light Up the Stage gets you there as well. But risk factor is a recurring threat.
Yeah. Because you basically get to cast it 8 times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And and they can't take 4 damage each time.
No, it'd be 6.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It'd be 6 with the dwarf.
With the dwarf, it's 6 damage.
Think about how horrible that is. Now risk.
and that's going to be something that people are going to miss.
Yes.
When the dwarf's on the field and then you cast it and they're like, all right, I'll take 4. Oh no. It's 6.
You're taking 6 damage.
And they're like, oh no.
I'm going to cast risk factor again.
Draw your 3.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to take these cards. There it is.
Oh, look, Cavalcade.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, Cavalcade got that new land that gives you a 1/1.
2 Cavalcades on the field with an active dwarf. That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's 6 damage.
Yep.
6 damage for each creature. And those triggers just hit the stack when you attack.
Yep.
Your opponent doesn't have priority. Well, they have priority. They
beforehand.
Can, before combat, they can do that. But that dwarf is going to be an immediate target of your removal.
Yeah.
Immediate. So still cool.
Another card that, maybe this could take the place for more card draw. You got Robber of the Rich.
Yeah, Robber of the Rich is good.
So it's not a 1/1, but
Robin Hood.
It's 1 in a red for a 2/2 with reach and haste, which is interesting. And then it says whenever Robber of the Rich attacks, if defending player has more cards in hand than you, which is likely if you're playing Cavalcade, exile the top card of their library. During any turn you attacked with a rogue, you may cast that card and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast that spell.
Love it.
So it gives you a chance to maybe get some card advantage, but it's not the best thing that's out there for Cavalcade, but hey, it could maybe be a good sideboard card against like Control or something like that.
Well, I think when you look at 4 copies of Chandra Acolyte, right, of Flame, just that alone with the recursive 2 elementals with haste every turn with an active dwarf, that's on curve.
Right.
That's on curve. That's bad. Cavalcade.
So you got a 1/1 with haste.
Chandra. Yeah, 1/1 with haste. So the knight.
Yep.
Cavalcade.
Yep.
Chandra.
Yep.
Into the dwarf. Ugly.
Yeah.
Ugly. That's brutal.
It's like they built it for that reason.
It's like it all just meshes together. And I would still throw 1 copy of the 6 converted mana cost Chandra.
Another one to maybe
Awaken Inferno.
Another version of this that you may want to consider doing is maybe red-white Cavalcade, because there's still some good white creatures that are 1/1s.
Some. There's great 1/1s.
I like Healing Hawk. I think it's still, and that'll gain you life.
And hilarious.
Yep. And
it's hilarious.
You swing in, it'll deal 1 damage to your opponent. They're like, God dang it. So
everybody forgets about the Healing Hawk. Yep. Everybody.
And so they're like, God, do I gotta kill this Healing Hawk?
Yeah.
And again, that's how they feel about all your creatures. But then you also have something like Deafening Clarion to give all your creatures lifelink.
Yeah.
And so like there's a couple and then if you're having issues where they're killing all your creatures and they're starting to play threats, well, Deafening Clarion may be able to give you an answer to their threats too. So maybe going like red-white could be something good for a list like this as well.
I think it slows it down.
A little bit, yeah.
I think it slows it down. But when you go red-white, it just takes it away from the Cavalcade side. I'm not saying that it's not possible. It's totally possible. But it's not the hasty kind of thing that you're looking for, I don't think.
I'm also looking at Giants for.
Of course. But of course.
Naya Giants looks actually like a lot of fun.
It does.
It's tier 2.
It is.
Yeah.
I've looked at, I've just the creature set alone. The problem is that you're so high on the curve and being able to produce activity.
You've got, basically, you use your lower end of your curve for ramp and removal.
Sure.
And then your high end is for your bombs.
Finishers.
Yeah, you just play your bombs.
Bombs and bombs and bombs. Yeah, I get it. I understand that Naya ramp thing. I get that. It's just a
really. I wouldn't imagine.
Never once played Naya ramp. I'm very very nervous about trying it out. I'm very nervous. So I've got a white-black Knights list that I will have played. Hopefully you get an opportunity to have seen it. I'll post that up and get those articles out there. We'll get a big comprehensive article of all of the deck lists that we play on Tuesday out before the end of this week, probably this weekend. After you hear the podcast here, we'll get all of those lists up because Throne of Eldraine is live in Arena on the 26th.
Yep.
It is live. You are able to start building out cards. Rotation has occurred on the 26th. It's going to be a whole new world. right? And then we slowly grind through another 2 years of expansions.
Hey, but that's the fun, right?
I know, yeah. It's so great.
That's the ride.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah, Thought Erasure for 2 more years. Woo, blah.
Hey, it's better than Modern.
Modern. Who plays Modern? Everybody. That's who. Standard is perceived as a much slower, much more confined version of Magic, and it is. Truthfully, we should probably be playing Modern. We'd likely have more fun with our brews, but I'm having fun anyway. Okay, so White Black Knights. I've got a great, it's like a pseudo-style Aristocrats deck with Corpse Knight. Absolutely love the removal package that is in Black-White in terms of Knights. The new Lancer, the 3/1 flash that gives another Knight Death Touch and Lifelink. Superb card. Murderous Rider, obviously very good. The anchor to this and the linchpin to the recursion on this creature deck is Sorin, the War of the Spark Sorin that helps me return creatures to the battlefield. Very, very good. I also run a couple copies of Gruesome Menagerie in there because it's hilarious. And being able to return a 1, 2, and 3 converted mana cost Knight to the battlefield is pretty exemplary. But Mortifies, there's lots of really good things going on with that list. Obviously, I have to play a Mardu version of Knights as well. We've also got a Boros version of Knights. We're going to be playing a lot of Knights on Tuesday.
Do any of these run the equipment package?
Yeah, of course. Equipment, the new Lance, the Black-Red Lance, Embercleave, the Mace of the Valiant, which is just an incredibly abusive card. People better be playing some type of artifact removal, and I can guarantee you that they should be doing that. I've also got an interesting list with that new red-white enchantment that puts a creature token into play at the beginning of each one of your upkeeps.
Yeah, that's a good card.
Yeah, I've got something kind of spicy brewing with that is going to be really exciting to play. And it's actually a Naya variant of that. Also running March of the Multitudes and Tristani and a bunch of really just heinous stuff. So
does it also run Divine Visitation?
It does run Divine Visitation. It's funny that you would mention that, as if that were maybe a deck. But it does run Divine Visitation. I don't know if we're actually going to get to that, even in the span of the course of the 8 hours that I will be streaming and then the 8 hours or so that you will be streaming. We can literally only play so many games. We're going to want to be able to fit as many different decks and as many different things into showcasing those decks as possible, but it may be easier said than done. Just remember to set up your text files for easy imports.
Yep.
So, yeah, cool stuff. Lots of brews. I'm just really excited about New Standard, Debo.
Me too. I think that Throne of Eldraine brings some really cool flavor and brings some really cool mechanics to the game.
Yeah, the flavors like cinnamon and,
nutmeg,
frosting and nutmeg, allspice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
delicious.
The mechanics that it brings is really cool. They bring some really cool things like the new legendary artifact cycle is amazing.
Yeah, man. The Great Henge.
Yeah.
That card gives me a literal BO in
what? Yeah. But no, it's a really good card. Even the adventure mechanic is really fun. I think there's a really interesting tier 2 adventure deck that you could build.
Yeah.
We have that new artifact that allows you to copy adventure spells, which is really fun. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do with that.
The one card nobody's really talking about, and I don't really know why.
What's that?
Garruk.
Oh yeah, Garruk.
He's coming.
So good.
And I got a brew for you, and I'm not going to say anything about it.
Yeah. No, don't.
You'll have already seen it by the time you listen to this anyway. Yeah. I know I keep saying that, but it's weird that we operate in the future with some of this.
I know.
So anyway, there's the brews. How about the news?
So Wizards did an oopsie, in my opinion.
What?
Yeah, they did an oopsie.
They never do oopsies.
I know, right?
There's never an oopsie.
All right, so they just announced their Throne of Eldraine Deluxe Edition.
I did see that.
After taxes, it is over $500.
$500. To put that in perspective, that is 2 car payments. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay, to put that in perspective, that is 2 car payments. It is really, really expensive.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. You get a binder, which albeit looks like a pretty nice one, but not $500 worth. You get 16 packs of Throne of Eldraine.
Collector's packs.
I think they're just packs.
They are 16 collector's packs, collector boosters.
Oh, I guess they are collector boosters. Okay. Okay, I can maybe see that.
Oh, they're swaying you. They're getting you.
Maybe.
So it's not so much an oopsie.
But they also have, but the collector's packs are pretty much the same price as normal packs. That's the thing.
They're not. They're $30.
For a collector's pack?
A collector's pack is $30.
Are you serious?
I am 100% serious.
God, that's an issue too. All right,
$480 for 16 packs is what you would pay if you walked into
for a collector's pack.
No, if you walked into
not the themed boosters, but the ones that have 30 cards.
Collector's packs are $30. If you walked into a retail store, a brick and mortar store, we drive up the street and we go visit Spanky and we say, hey, Spanky, I'd like 16 collector's packs. He's probably going to look at you first and be like, cool, awesome. But here they are. That'll be $540.
Well, that's where all the money's coming from.
So that's
Jesus.
So,
yeah.
Well, hey, man, if people are going to pay it, would you sell it?
Of course.
Of course. Yeah. Look, it's free market.
Yeah.
Free market, capitalism. I'm all about it. I support WotC. I love the fact that they're making money with this game. I get it. But that is...
It's egregious.
I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah.
I'm not buying that deluxe edition.
I'm not going to buy it either. I'm one that's notorious for being frivolous with my money when it comes to expensive Magic products.
Dude, I am a lifelong collector in this game.
Yeah.
I am a lifelong collector. Every set for 25 years... I've bought 2 booster boxes, and it started back when the game first came out, and I bought way more than that. And there's been other sets where I've bought 3, 4 booster boxes, played in local game shop events, pre-releases, draft nights. Who knows? I mean, you've seen the collection, right?
Yeah.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
It's completely asinine how many Magic cards between the two of us that we've got sitting around.
Yep.
Okay.
And you recently got rid of
I trimmed
50-gallon drums.
Yeah. I didn't put them in drums. I lovingly packed them in 5,000 count boxes, but
you just vicariously just threw them all of these drums and rolled them down the road.
I rolled the drums down the hill in the snow, and they're right. I cut out a lot of the common, uncommon, even rare chaff that I had, and organized down into play sets because you don't need more than a play set. Well, there are certain cards, rats and the advisors and whatnot, right? And get as many of those as possible. There's other cards that I've kept and will in perpetuity forever, and no matter how many copies of those cards that I have. So there is but $500 on a deluxe edition, even if you get this nice little 3x3 premium foil uncut sheet thing, right?
And a print of the Garruk art.
Right,
of the alternate art.
Which they've noticed people are really clamoring over these uncut sheet things, and now they're turning it into a product they can sell you.
Yep.
Brilliant. It's brilliant, right? But the Garruk art, the box.
My problem is they're now going to start selling globally. So if they're going to meet a global demand, then they have to increase the amount that they're going to be running in print runs, right?
Right.
Which means that you're going to have more of these things floating around, which means that their value is going to go down.
But that's what people want. They put them in frames and they hang them on their walls,
right,
like a piece of art, which I'm all about. Again, if you got the $500+ to go spend on the deluxe edition,
go for it.
You go do you, boo boo. But that ain't me, man.
Yeah.
That's not my thing.
Like I'm okay with spending, the $200 for a booster box of a premium set.
I can buy a case of this set for $540.
Right.
A case. I can get 4, good chance, brother. I can get 4 of every card in the set for the same price.
Yeah.
And that is ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, they do also give you like a non-foil version of Kenrith, the Returned King. They give you a bunch of MTG Arena stuff as well. You have an MTG Arena Mega Code card, which grants you a deluxe Garruk exquisite sleeve.
Not something I can touch.
Yeah. You've got Garruk Cursed Huntsman. You get 1 copy of each of the following cards plus a card style for each of these.
And this is telling you they're pushed cards in the set. When they're putting these and including these cards as things in the deluxe edition,
yep,
those are going to be the big combo pieces on a go-forward basis. So Bone Crusher Giant, we know that's one that's probably included.
Yeah, it's a very good one. Bone Crusher Giant is included in this. Questing Beast is included in this. And that one, like, of course, everyone's going to want that card. Witch's Vengeance, the Magic Mirror.
Magic Mirror is incredibly powerful.
Yeah, Charming Prince and Garruk. So
Charming Prince is good. Don't really see it, but we'll see. We'll see.
I think Charming Prince is really good.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be more important in the future sets.
Yeah.
Because right now we don't have a whole lot of ETB effects to abuse.
Sure.
Which we used to, but then rotation happened.
So definitely kind of a boo-boo. I mean, honestly, we don't really need to belabor this much. Yeah. I think $449 for a deluxe edition of something is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm saying, Debo, $500.
I mean, dude, that's what, 20?
That's a new DSLR for our stream setup.
Yeah.
We can go buy a T3 Rebel to plug in.
That's 25 $20 board games.
That is a new 2070 GTX video card for a tower that I can crypto mine with. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's a tremendous amount of money.
Yeah.
I think it's way overstated in terms of the value. The $30 price tag to the collector's boosters. At first I was like, oh man, this is going to be great. Premium cards. I'm thinking like $14.99 for a pack. And here it comes out that they're $30 a pop. Bro, no way.
Yeah.
That's 10 other packs of cards.
Yeah. Now finding out that they're $30, because I thought it was the themed boosters that were going to be those $30 packs because they had so many more cards in them.
No.
But because there's like 35 cards in those packs.
Collector's packs are $30.
Yeah, that just, I may buy one.
Sure. I mean, why not?
One.
Why
That's
not?
it.
But I mean, dude, $30. Are you kidding me? You can get a beat up Rings of Brighthearth for $30.
Yeah.
That is something that I'd like over anything that's in one of these packs.
And it'll keep its value.
I can go to a tournament and play with a non-special card.
The problem with this thing, in my opinion, is that over time it will not keep its value.
Of course not. It front end loads everything.
Yeah.
Look at us preparing for GP Kansas City and the money that we sank into those Grixis decks. I mean, we're paying $35 a Nicol Bolas.
You're right.
We're paying $25 a Liliana. We're playing all that. Look at those prices now.
Like $5.
They're fun. Well, yeah, the Nicol Bolas has completely tanked.
Yeah.
And will never regain its value.
No.
Ever will it regain its value. It may, over time, trickle back up to around $20, but I took a loss on that. And Standard is starting to feel like that, and I don't want it to feel like that. And when that starts happening, I slow down because I am a smart investor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is why I play the booster game.
Yep.
If I want to gamble, I'm going to crack packs and have a chance at, whoa! Remember when we were cracking Ultimate Masters and you cracked a foil Jace the Mind Sculptor?
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Yep.
That was a feels good moment.
And then also in that same box, I cracked another pack and I got a non-foil.
That's right. So a tremendously good booster box, and sometimes you get hosed on booster boxes too. With
More
this,
often than not for me.
well, when you know exactly what you're getting with the deluxe, and I appreciate that they're up front with that, except for the $16, $30 packs or collector's packs or whatever. So in terms of MSRP, it's got good value.
Yeah.
For $4.49, it's got good value.
At least at the front.
At the front end.
Because the packs are $30, right?
Yeah.
So you're getting 16 of them, which is already almost
$5.40.
So it's already over the price of what the MSRP is. However, the problem is later down the road, this will not hold its value. So instead, I would spend that $500 and instead buy a couple of dual lands that will hold its value. That will go up in value. You know, things like that.
You could buy 3 of some duels right now. You could buy 3 revised duels for that same price.
Yeah.
And you could probably get a deal from a brick and mortar shop that wants to move those cards that are gathering dust.
Yep.
You could probably walk in and haggle them down. But if you walk in and try to haggle them down on their deluxe edition Throne of Eldraine version, not a chance.
Nope.
Not a chance. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so we beat that one to death. That's bleeding on the floor. Hit me.
So Magic also said that they are releasing a better store for them.
What do you mean? They're going to start selling product directly?
Well, they've already kind of started
Hasbro.
a little bit. Well, they did it with the Hasbro shop. They also did it with their own store first, if you remember right. So they did it with their own store first. It was bad. They went to Hasbro. It was bad. They went to eBay. It was bad. So now they're going back to their store again.
Their store.
Yeah. So
but they're selling product directly now.
Directly. But it's not single. I don't believe it's like singles. I think they're relegating that to
brick and mortar.
But you can buy these deluxe edition stuff. You can buy your mythic edition stuff. Maybe booster boxes or something like that. I don't know.
Wow. They start selling booster boxes and packs.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
It.
Or maybe instead of doing like the booster boxes and things, maybe they'll go more in like art print direction or something like things that the brick and mortar probably won't sell, you know. But basically, they're going to be having it open for the deluxe editions for people to go and buy. Now, the thing about this is they said they are now opening it up to overseas.
Oh, cool.
Stuff.
Austria, Belgium, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Germany, Denmark, Spain, Finland, France, Greece, Croatia, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Luxembourg, Malta, Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Sweden, Slovenia, Slovakia, and the United Kingdom.
Yep. So they now have international shipping. I don't know if you can necessarily buy the products in your language. It may still only be in English.
It better be in their language.
But at the very least, they can ship to you now. So that's something good. They also said that they have revised the way that they are putting together their experience when people go to the store.
How so?
So before, when people go to the store, it was whoever could get into the cart first would get the product. Now it's whoever can get onto the site first and puts the product in their cart can get the product.
This is just
so
awesome.
they're basically when you go onto the site, you get put into a queue immediately, and then you can shop. You can put it into your cart, and then if the product is still available when you hit buy, it'll show you your cart. You can go through. So, but they'll basically put you in a queue the moment you hit the site in order for you to be able to hopefully have a better chance of getting your products and things like that.
Hooray!
Yeah.
And the peasants rejoice.
So that's kind of neat, but hopefully it doesn't kill brick and mortars. And then we're also looking at Arena's launch.
Arena's launch.
So that is September 26th. And for a very big event, they are doing a special event where they will unlock every card in Standard, basically giving everybody a preview account.
Whoa!
For this event. And you can build any deck you want. You can build multiple decks. It doesn't have to be just one deck. You can build multiple decks and try them out.
Cool.
And then if you go 12-1, basically.
12-1. So you got to win a GP.
Yeah, you will win one copy of every card in Standard.
Amazing.
Yep.
So start looking for the most competitive professional deck that is posted to the public that you can find. And then everybody copy that so you're all playing the same deck and get crushed by a left field brew that Devo and I bring in.
And then also,
go on, everybody. Think for yourselves. Get out there.
And then also, they'll have a follow-up event on October 6th, which is basically the exact same thing. So
what a very cool thing for them to do. Completely open and free to play. I'm all about that. It's essentially a GP.
Yeah.
Going 12-1, right? That's what gets you to the top 8.
Yeah, they said basically you have to win 12. You have to have 12 wins before you hit 2 losses. So 12-1.
That is a grind. I got a good idea what deck I'm going to take into that.
I think I have an idea what you're going to bring.
What am I taking, Debo?
Green Beats.
Green Beats! Green Beats! Green Beats! Yeah, that's coming.
There's a really cool article that starts going through like the various launch events and things like that they're doing. But I've also released the new pet for the Mastery Tree, and you want to have a guess about what it is?
I have no idea at all. It was a cat first, right?
Yep.
Didn't we say that we thought it was going to be a dog?
Okay.
Is it a type of canine?
It's a type of canine.
Does it have a big bushy tail?
It does.
Is it a wolf?
No.
Is it a fox?
It is.
It's a fox.
Yep.
Well, boy.
So. And also, gotta admit, it's kind of a cute fox.
Is it?
Yeah, I'll pull it up here so you can see it. But it's basically got like a little metal helmet.
Oh my gosh!
And it
Look at that thing.
And when it's sitting there, it's got its tongue sticking out, and it's like all happy, and you just want to pet it.
I love it.
I like it better than the cat.
I love it. Look at him. He's so happy. He's got little hedrons all over him. And,
Yep.
Oh.
He's so cute.
Oh
my gosh.
Barf. Blah, blah. Okay, we're done. Look at that.
Oh.
That's amazing.
The other thing, too, that is kind of upsetting.
What?
Is another oopsie. Is they have relegated basically historic play and brawl play to like monthly events.
Why?
Yeah. So
I thought it was just coming.
Yeah, that's what everyone thought. And so then they said, yeah, you can do this once a month. And then everyone's like, are you serious? Like, the whole point was that you could play your cards that you.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. The collection that we've amassed is only playable
Once a month.
Once a month?
Yeah, during the events. So that's.
What a disaster.
Yeah, that should be.
I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah, we can talk about that next week.
That is problem number 1.
Yeah.
That's enemy number 1. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean I can't access and play Brawl or my historic cards whenever I want to against people online? Or I can, right?
I mean,
I can direct challenge or do that, right?
I don't know.
Can I progress my dude? I'm getting upset. Can I progress my mastery tree and play historic or Brawl whenever I want to?
I don't know.
Why not? You've taken my money. What do you mean?
Yep.
What do you mean? We've sunk hundreds of dollars into this. Probably over $1,000 into our arena account now.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to do a little bit more research into it. But I remember seeing some
We're gonna
buzz
really
about
get
it on
some
Twitter.
notes. Yeah. Let's just let that one lie.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week.
I don't want to end on a hostile note, but that has the potential of really getting me upset.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yep. No, I understand.
Okay.
I understand. We'll do a little bit more research.
Yeah.
Because it was some Twitter buzz that I heard, and everything on the internet is true. So
yeah. 2 or 3 people start piling on Twitter, and now it's a big issue.
Yep. But
I'm tired of social media.
Oh, me too.
Goodness.
But yeah, so Arena's officially launching. They will be, so now that they'll be like tweaking and just making things a better experience.
You should have to pass a test to be able to post on Twitter. That's just the way I feel about it.
So it's going to be a kind of a fun event for the 26th and the 6th, October 6th.
Okay.
So definitely keep those things in mind. Potential of winning.
See, that's really cool. That's a hooray moment.
Mm-hmm.
But then confining my historic and Brawl decks to just monthly events, that's a boo. That's a boo moment. Boo. That's enough. All right. That's enough. Well, we covered quite a bit today, Debo.
We did.
Really excited about Tuesday. Again, all-day stream will have already occurred by the time you heard this. Thank you for stopping by and joining us if you did. And if not, please follow us on socials. Hey, the Sideboard Facebook group really kind of blowing up.
Yeah.
Lots of people joining us for conversations there. That's been great.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It has been a lot of fun.
And if you guys are lurking on the podcast here and maybe considering joining us on the streams, we stream Saturday through Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central. Hopefully you guys can come and join us. We definitely love playing MTG Arena, and then when Standard starts getting stale, maybe we'll branch out into other games, like Jeremy was playing Half-Life 2 earlier. But it's one of those things
I just burn out, man.
Yeah,
I'm ready for rotation. I had to play something else.
Also, if you just want to check out our news, we have a Facebook page of Lansay Go. You can also follow us on Twitter, which is @LansayGo1. That's the number 1. Or just go to our website, lansaygo.com, and you can come check out what we have going on. And yeah, hopefully you guys got to check out the cool Tuesday stream of Throne of Eldraine with the preview account. Thanks again, Watsy, for giving us that preview account. That's an awesome, wonderful thing.
We really appreciate it. Very gracious of you.
Yep.
All right, folks. This is Jeremy.
And this is Debo.
Signing off. I'm waiting for it. Go ahead. Yeah. Do it, man.
That's a good one.